You're watching The Buck Stops Here, and the top story today, of course, is the decision by Arun Jaitley to file civil and criminal defamation charges against Arvind Kejriwal. This, of course, after Mr. Kejriwal accused him of and implicated him in the DDCA scam. Meanwhile, on a parallel track, the Kejriwal government has, of course, announced a commission of inquiry to be headed by prominent lawyer Gopal Subramaniam. NDTV has accessed the exchange of letters between Arvind Kejriwal and Gopal Subramaniam. And let's go straight across to Mr. Gopal Subramaniam. Mr. Subramaniam, I read your letter to the Chief Minister. You talk about how you accepted this role for the love of cricket, how at one point you even dreamt of being a cricket commentator, but you're stepping into a political minefield. Do you believe that you can be absolutely neutral and removed from all the political noise that surrounds this entire case?
Well, I practiced almost for 37 years, and I think I've been absolutely neutral as far as my professional work is concerned. And I'm going to bring to bear a totally professional approach. I've made it very clear to the Chief Minister. I have no a priori assumptions of guilt or implication or wanting to get after somebody. Not at all. Mr. Jaitley has been a friend of mine, which is an upfront disclosure which I have made in the letter. But at the same time, since the purpose is about cricket and an organization which is meant to subserve cricket, I think the larger purpose seems to be the remit of this commission.
Mr. Subramaniam, you say there's a larger public purpose, but as you take over the reins of this inquiry, the case is actually in court in many ways, with Mr. Jaitley filing civil and criminal defamation charges. He will be cross-examined in court. Mr. Kejriwal's lawyers will have to put their position forth. Do you believe that the inquiry commission can run a parallel track to court proceedings?
Well, it depends actually, because the Commissions of Inquiry Act contemplates setting up a commission for certain purposes. As far as courts are concerned, they deal with a separate purpose. And incidentally, what is said in a Commission of Inquiry can never be used in a court.
So you're saying they're two absolutely separate things?
Yes, and it has been held by the Supreme Court.
But let me give you a hypothesis, strictly a hypothesis. If the court were to determine or come to a conclusion that Mr. Jaitley had indeed been defamed, and you were on a parallel track to come to a contrary conclusion, which opinion would prevail?
Well, I will then have to see what is the nature of the proceeding where the conclusion has been rendered. If it is binding upon a commission of inquiry, I will have to take that view. So I'll have to take that as it comes along. I can't make any premature judgment at all at this stage. I must also tell you that I am still not the Commission of Inquiry. I have to wait for a process of notification in the official gazette after the Lieutenant Governor signs off on this order, and only then I can set about my work.
But you don't believe, assuming the Lieutenant Governor were to sign that order and everything, the process were to be completed, you don't believe that the court proceeding by definition would put the commission on a back burner? You don't believe that one contradicts the other?
I personally don't even know what is the case in the court about. I've been traveling whole day, and actually it's not even proper for me to look at any of these things until I step in as the commission.
But what made you say yes? I want to explore that a little more. You said yes to head this inquiry because you love cricket. But you are aware, surely, that by heading this commission, you will be seen to be taking a political side. Mr. Kejriwal and Mr. Jaitley are at loggerheads. The matter is not just legal, it's political. This all happened after Mr. Kejriwal's principal secretary was raided by the CBI. Are you not, in saying, assenting to this commission of inquiry, taking a political side as well?
Well, let me first tell you that if I'm taking a political position, I have no reason to be the head of a commission of inquiry. As simple as that.
Okay.
My position is as follows, that a commission of inquiry is almost quasi-judicial and a fact-finding body. and when it finds facts and records conclusions, it is meant to inform the public mind, and if there are recommendations to be made for the betterment in the future, these are for the consideration by the executive government. Now tell me, if suppose I were to take a view that there was no wrongdoing at all by anyone concerned, will I be treated as belonging to political party A? Or if I came to a slightly different conclusion, would I belong to another political party? No, because I'm a professional lawyer and I'm going to look at facts as they are brought before me by certain standards of evidence. If there is no evidence against a person, I cannot imagine that the person is meant to be implicated. No way. That's not happening.
Will your inquiry be time-bound?
Well, let me tell you, when I was a member of the Verma committee, my energy levels were much higher. I missed Chief Justice Verma, but I will try to do it as quickly as possible.
What are the
But I will follow all the processes which are statutory safeguards under the Commissions of Inquiry Act.
What do you
Because it's very important to bear in mind that many commissions have been discredited because fairness, transparency and objectivity has not been visible.
May I
have
ask
made
you,
it very clear
Yes.
that this will be a public proceeding.
What do you mean by public
It
proceeding?
will be conducted in the that is, it will be conducted with members of the public having access in a regulated manner, and everybody would be allowed to witness, and they can even, if necessary, tape record or video record the proceeding.
So it is open to the public, it is open to anybody to either witness
Absolutely.
or contribute to it. Okay, that's
Yes.
interesting. That's interesting.
Yes.
But what I want to ask you is, what are the terms of reference? I have seen Mr. Kejriwal's letter to you, but our viewers may not be familiar with that. So if you can summarize, what exactly have you been asked to inquire into or investigate?
You see, the first is that DDCA. Now, first of all, I must tell you that I have no idea of the DDCA, except that I have had the privilege of seeing cricket at Firozshah Kotla. I have had no idea of who the office bearers of DDCA are. I have, of course, seen Bishan Singh Bedi bowl in Firozshah Kotla. He had a beautiful left-arm spin bowling action. It's something which I have commented upon. I must tell you that this is something which I'm getting into with a completely open mind. Now, the first part is, what is the working of the DDCA? Is there maladministration? Is there malfunctioning? And are there financial irregularities? And who is responsible in relation to them? And if suppose someone is responsible in relation to them, what should be, how should it be addressed? Is it something which is culpable, or is it something which is capable of being overlooked? Which is the category to which it belongs? Then, of course, what should be the manner in which the institution should be, if at all it needs any restructuring?
Yes.
How should it be attempted?
Yes.
In accordance with international standards. And thirdly, and the most important is, the DDCA serves for cricket. It's meant to serve cricket. And it's meant to look at talent for the future. It is meant to promote players' causes. It is meant to promote the best possible talent to be brought to the fore.
Yes. You know, there have been three inquiries of different kinds before, and you're aware of this. There was the SFIO inquiry under the UPA government, there was the DDCA's own fact-finding panel, and there was a High Court monitored inquiry as well. How will yours be different, sir?
I have absolutely no idea of any of these inquiries. I will see them as and when, shall I say, I take charge. But my inquiry will be following a certain structure, and it will be a transparent structure.
Okay.
That is, whatever is the material which is received in response to a public notice and official records will be examined by me.
Okay. Let me
They
ask.
will be compiled.
Yes. Yes.
Then they will be made available to everyone concerned.
Okay, let me ask
If
you.
I think someone's reputation, sorry, I just wanted to explain this quickly. If I think that somebody's reputation may be called into question, then he has to be given a due process of notice, and he must be allowed to lead evidence, and he must also have the opportunity to cross-examine witnesses.
So let me put it to
So
you.
all this will have to be gone into.
So let me, in the end, put it to you like this. You said you make no presuppositions of anyone's guilt or innocence. If somebody's reputation is called into question, they'll be given a right to respond. Arvind Kejriwal and his party have taken a position on Mr. Jaitley. They want his resignation. They believe corruption happened on his watch. As you take over this inquiry commission, am I to understand that you are taking no positions on Mr. Jaitley per se? Because the party and the government that's asked you to do this have.
Let me be absolutely clear on a public channel. If I am taking that position, I am morally disempowered to be the chairman of a commission of inquiry. I'm not even fit to be a professional lawyer. I'm making it very clear on the media that I have absolutely no presuppositions of any kind. And I wish to make it clear that because of the objectivity and the neutrality which will be brought to bear in this inquiry, I should think that this is the best possible place for everyone, if at all the occasion so demands or is warranted, to make their position clear.
Before you go, there are BJP supporters, and they're already saying this on social media, that Mr. Subramaniam does not like the NDA government because he felt let down by them, because when you could have been judge, you withdrew your candidature because you believe the government did not want an independent judge. You believe you had been involved in the Sohrabuddin fake encounter where you were helping and assisting the court, and you believe that scurrilous charges had been made against you. But that whole experience, with that experience, there is a perception that you don't like the NDA government, and therefore you will not be objective in this inquiry. How do you respond to the apprehension from BJP supporters?
Well, first of all, let me tell you, the allegations which were attempted to be planted were scurrilous, they were false, and I didn't want to get into any further ado, and I withdrew my candidature. But you must also know that I'm a professional person, and also I know how to detach myself from events which have passed. I, in fact, after returning to practice, I have met the various members, even in the NDA government, when I had to invite them for my son's wedding. It's been absolutely normal. I carry absolutely no rancor. I'm a little too seasoned for it. Absolutely seasoned. Even if there was a perception in the mind of the NDA government that they had something to be apprehensive about me, well, that was their perception. Well, I may not agree with it, but it's all right. It's over because I've withdrawn my candidature. It's all past. And I'm enjoying myself as a lawyer, by the way.
I'm sure you are. Will you also be questioning the finance minister if your inquiry needs to?
If my inquiry needs to do anything which is necessary, I will not hesitate to do it. But I'm not embarking upon a mission. My mission, of course, is cricket. And I will play with what they say is a straight bat right from the middle.
All right.
And a high back lift.
Thank you, Gopal Subramaniam. A pleasure to have you on the program as always.